What's up, fantasy football world? Welcome to the Air It Out Fantasy Football Podcast. I'll give you the basics this week on how to read NFL bets, the odds, and the potential payouts. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to go over moneyline bets. This is the simplest form of sports betting. All you have to do is pick the winner. A sports handicapper will choose the favorite and the underdog for each game and set the odds. The odds will be represented by either a positive sign or negative sign. Favorites will have a negative sign next to them, and you must bet the amount listed to win. For example, the Eagles are at minus 150 in their first game of the season against the Cowboys. In this scenario, to $100, you would need to bet $150. So it's a bigger money down to win a little bit less. The underdog is the complete opposite and listed with a plus sign. For example, let's use the Eagles Cowboys again. Except this time you're betting on the underdog Cowboys at plus 150. If the Cowboys win, your $100 bet would win you $150. In moneyline betting, the margin of victory does not matter. Just pick the winner and get paid. Next one, point spread betting. In point spread betting, a handicapper will balance the odds of a game by assigning what's known as a handicap to each team, and then this becomes what's called the spread. The spread is a number that has been set by the sports book that indicates the expected margin of victory by a team. Just like in moneyline betting, the favorite will be indicated by a negative sign, and the underdog will be favored by a positive sign. For example, let's say the Eagles and the Cowboys are playing, and the sportsbook has set the odds as the Eagles minus 6.5. Therefore, the Cowboys are plus 6.5. If the bettor places a $100 bet on the Eagles to cover, the Eagles would need to win by 7 points or more. On the other hand, a $100 bet on the Cowboys would win if the Cowboys either win the game outright or lose, but less than by 6 points or less. There's also a push, which is the same thing as a tie. A push takes place when the spread matches the final score exactly. For example, if the spread was 6 points and the final score of the Eagles-Cowboy game was 23-17, in this case we got a push, a tie, and that's money back for everyone. All the bettors get their money refunded when we have a tie. The next one, a personal favorite, over-under, which is called total betting. So this type of betting is a wager on the total number of points scored in a game. Just like with point spread betting, the total can end in a push or a tie, but it usually doesn't because it's usually defined by half points. So the spread could be 43.5 or 45. Use those Eagles-Cowboys again. If you're betting on the over and it was 45, the total score from both teams needs to be over 45 points. For the person betting on the under, the total needs to be under 45 points. A push can occur when the game ends at exactly 45 points, let's say 24-21. This over-under betting, you'll see a lot of halves or 46.5, 45.5, etc. That stops the push from happening. All right, the next type of bet is called a proposition or prop bet for short. A prop bet is a bet that predicts an outcome for a player or team within any specific game. An NFL prop bet can be similar to over-under or total in the points in a game, except it is applied to a single player on that team or the complete team. Prop betting has become very popular, and common examples include, for just player props, it could be a quarterback's total over-under passing yards in a game, a running back's over-under rushing yards in a game, or over-under touchdowns thrown by a quarterback, rushed by a running back, by a wide receiver, etc., etc., etc. Team props include the entire team rather than a single individual. For example, the total over-under for the Eagles-Cowboys game is 45. However, you specifically wager on the Eagles over-under of 25 points, so just their half to go over or under that 25 points. There's other kinds of common prop bets. They include special props, which could be if both the Eagles and the Cowboys score at least one touchdown and a half. A touchdown scorer prop, which places odds on any player's odds to score one or multiple touchdowns in a game. Again, that's individual versus team. There's also an anytime touchdown scorer, individual again. First time touchdown scorer, that could be a team or an individual, or multiple touchdown scorer, same thing. Okay? The next one, now we're getting a little more complicated, team-based futures. Some of the more common team futures include betting on teams to win a total for the year. So you could have a Super Bowl future winner, an AFC winner, an NFC winner, or even a divisional winner. The odds for team-based futures are set by an open sports book and go from long, means they're not likely to happen at all, or very short, means they're probably going to happen. For example, the odds makers currently have the Eagles as the most likely team to win the Super Bowl next season at plus 650. So as you learned earlier, you bet $100, the Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl, you get 650. And the Saints is the least likely, so you bet $100 on the Saints and you'd win $40,000. Not so bad. Okay, the next one, and we're seeing a lot of this these days, and you can do it on basically almost any app or in any casino, is NFL parlay betting. So this is the most advanced type of betting I'll get into today. A parlay is a single bet that links two or more bets together, also known as legs. So you can have a 2-leg parlay, a 3-leg parlay, a 10-leg parlay, whatever you want to do. For a parlay to win, the individual legs all need to win. So if you bet 8 different legs of your parlay, every little leg needs to win. If you lose one, you lose. Parlay betting has become extremely popular because in theory it allows for a greater payout with a smaller wager. Be cautious though, my listeners, because parlay bets do not offer the same good odds that are proportional to the value. So the more you bet, the more legs you add, the more likely you are to lose. That's why the sportsbook love this. All the DraftKings and that stuff, this is how they make all their money. All right, guys, that's the basic lowdown on sports NFL betting. Good luck to you guys who go into the sportsbook or hop on those apps and do it. Thanks again for listening this time to my short little primer on sports betting. We'll see you guys in our full show next week. This is the Air It Out Fantasy Football League podcast. Talk to you guys next time.